stopping by. Today we have Chester P, A Dragon Never Hides Its Wings. A lot of you cats have been asking for it, and I just want to say I have heard it through once, and I did it on the day that it dropped on late in July, the 20th to like 20th, I guess July 20th. I heard it the one time. People are still asking me to do it. People, including Chester, actually said, give it my best try to break this down and see what I come up with. So I took my time, man. I took my time waiting to get to this day because I know I'm gonna need my brain and I need to be in the right frame of mind. So hopefully today's that day. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Give it a listen.
I'm an orphan, absorbed by the death defiance, where this daily breath of life is my next alliance. On the prairie of forever with a new horizon, euthanizing all emotions still attached to dying, disentangling the circuitry of rapture crying out from the tracks of triumph, crippled limits in the traps of Zion, Holy Spirit's trying to clap for science, metaphysically endorsed by the next appliance, extra piously enticed, man, I'm back to basics, chasing ghosts in this tunnel full of actors' faces, I'm senselessly advanced.
It's good that he gives us like a second to get into it. He just right off the very start, man. Chester comes like he always does. I love the wordplay too with this idea of euthanizing all the feelings attached with dying, because so many of us have this idea, terrified of dying, right? This idea of dying could be the worst thing. Vanessa, for example, horrified, terrified of dying. Me, on the other hand, I'm just kind of like, yeah, well, you know what? I'm not going to know about it. Hopefully it's not some long, drawn-out thing, like I get shot in the stomach and then I lie there for 2 hours bleeding. I think that would suck, right? But when it comes to the actual death, it's like I feel for the people I leave behind, but that's as far as my worries about dying. So all the feelings attached to it aren't there for me. And when he talks about searching for ghosts in a tunnel filled with actors' faces, it makes me think about all these friends and stuff, because I know he's gone through a hard time, man, and I wonder if that's kind of like, it could be that, either looking for those ghosts, man, like meaning like old friends, because they don't exist anymore, they're not friends anymore, they're just a bunch of actors. Or he's kind of getting back to that because he's talking about the traps of Zion, and he called himself like pious is like a holy, is a holy term. And he's so I'm thinking like maybe he's getting in touch with his soul. So getting in touch in the holy part of himself, the soul part of him, getting back in touch with God. But at the same time, the religion part of it doesn't, that's become almost commercial. Like this idea, I wonder if that's kind of what he's getting at. So that's like why he's searching for God, searching for the Holy Ghost, so to speak, in the darkness in this tunnel. All he's seeing is people pretending to be holy, people pretending to speak the word of God. I wonder if that's what he's getting at. I'm only 20 seconds in, man, so let's I can't be here all day. I know you cats don't want that, so let's keep going.
Acts of triumph, crippled limits in the traps of Zion, Holy Spirit's trying to clap for science, metaphysically endorsed by the next appliance, extra piously enticed, man, I'm back to basics, chasing ghosts in this tunnel full of actors' faces, I'm senselessly advancing on the stature's paces, manufactured by the fractured places, where tomorrow never happens till the moment turns its back and chases, after mysteries, hidden in the sacred mazes, hatred raises up its arms for the killer's theme, lifting bloody heads from beneath the rusty guillotine. And this is life as we know it in the modern ages. The core's rotten, whispers of forgotten sages, downtrodden by the system of inoculation, no resistance from the mystics of approximation, hypnotized by the clock sedation. I stand timeless in the shadow of these rulers of a toxic nation.
Again, man, that wordplay. Just outstanding, man. And I feel like he's kind of switched from his sight was set on religion there at the beginning. Now he's moved off of that because he's talking about the I'm not going to be able to say that word. That's one of those words that I can't say no matter how hard I try. But then he also talks about the clock sedation. And I think that's kind of like that. And my first thought when I hear that is about like this working 9 to 5 type of idea. We get trapped in this corporate world, watching the clock, which, you know, you're, for anyone that has like an office job, I'm sure there's been days, maybe every day is that way for you, man, that you get in there and you work 4 hours. It feels like you've worked 4 hours, and you look at the clock and it's 9:15. And it's kind of like you're just watching the time of, you're just watching your life click off by seconds, right? But because basically that's what everyone's life is these days, is working to make money to buy shit you don't need, or to pay bills, or especially these days, man, like mortgage payments are skyrocketed, grocery stores, things have gone up, gas is double the price that it was like a year ago, and all we're doing is like selling our soul, those grains of sand keep going down, man, and that's where we are, man, and he's saying that the core is rotten, so we're kind of biting at an apple. It's that fighting for our piece of the apple, and meanwhile the core of it is raw, right?
By the clock sedation, I stand timeless in the shadow of these rulers of a toxic nation. What a price we have to pay for the life of kings. I rise above it cause a dragon never hides its wings. I'm letting off my fires in the mazes, stuck on yesterday until I'm facing this replacement, hating on my virtues and the time it takes to shape them. I'm caught regardless in the darkness of my statements, taste the vapors of the spectres on the paper.
I want to bring that back because how beautiful that is, like hating the virtues and the time it takes to shape them. Because are men, like, are people born virtuous? Like, I don't know if that's the case. I think a lot of people are born, we have that DNA, right? We like that it's hard, I mean, it's hard to say, it depends how you look at it, but it's like we have that caveman DNA in us, where it's like if you want something, you take it. Like, people are like that. You want that piece of meat, that caveman's going to walk over and knock you on the head and take that meat, or kill you for that meat, or kill you for that woman if he wants to mate. So if you're going to be virtuous, I'm sure there are virtuous men, but I'm also sure that as myself, it is a struggle at times to remain virtuous, and that ugly side of you is, the ugly side of you can come out so seamless, so easily, like it takes no effort for that demon to come out, but it takes a lot of effort to keep that demon caged, right? So it takes time to work on that, and to build those cages, those virtues, but I hate the amount of time it takes to get there, because you feel like it should be something easy. Loving your fellow man, keeping your demon cage should be an easy thing, at least you think it would be, but it's hard, and that's what he's saying. I think is he's hating it, how long it takes to get there, but at the same time hating them because it's not, like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm far off, because I'm like, he says he's hating his virtues, but alright, let's keep going.
I'm caught regardless in the darkness of my statements, taste the vapors of the spectres on the paper chasing, raised in sectors of the matrix with a taste for hating on anything that may resemble all of fate's creation. They take creation and destroy it with a sacred patience. Recreational destruction is the occupation. Tribal spacemen lost within the urban stages. I'm shamanic, dodging doctors and inoculation. Slap religion out of Bibles and indoctrination. Geometrics, mathematics.
Again, kind of bringing it all together there, man. He's saying because I think he's bringing that in, right? He's got the indoctrination, he's got the inoculation, and he's like, he prefers to stay away from the pharmaceuticals and the shit that the doctors want us to prescribe, and you know, the vaccine mandates and all that kind of shit. Then they're bringing it out, slapping the religion out of Bibles and indoctrination. Because I've often felt that way about the Bible, right? There's a lot in my mind when I read the Bible. There is a lot in there, a lot of very important things that you can pull from it and use it as a human being. But at the same time, I have friends and family who are on all sides of religion. In terms of I have lots of family who are Jehovah's Witness. I was raised Roman Catholic, and there are certain aspects of both, many aspects of both, that just infuriate me to the point where arguments happen, not because of any other reason than I want the best. I'm not going to get into that shit because it's not my place to talk about it, but it's just that knocking the religion out of the Bible and taking the Bible for what it is. I know it's been written by man, rewritten by man so many times, but you can still read it and take from lessons from it. But once it gets attached to that religion, and some dude sitting in some office deciding that he's going to interpret the same sentence a different way and then have his own religion, and people buy it.
Tribal spacemen, lost within the urban stages. I'm shamanic, dodging doctors and inoculation. Slap religion out of Bibles and indoctrination. Geometrics, mathematics and approximation. Flower children, growing from the shattered paving. Disillusioned, I'm sitting on the block with pagans. Scorching orchids in the morning under constellations. Where there's rosters of creation and the plots are vacant. Sculpting mobsters out of shadows and the rocks they're breaking. Chasing dragons through the caverns with their lost relations. Truth unravels.
I want to hear that again.
Where there's rosters of creation and the plots are vacant. Sculpting mobsters out of shadows and the rocks they're breaking. Chasing dragons through the caverns with their lost relations. Truth unravels in the fathoms of the consternations. Haunted nations, taverns in the joggle panels. Double barrels full of struggle in a fog's apparel. Shitty creeks, I'm peaking with my muddy paddle. It's love's enamel, drug mules and bloody saddles. What? I'm staying heavy.
Drugs or love's enamel. And I think of enamel, I think of, like, am I thinking the right thing? Because I know we have enamel on our teeth, but for whatever reason I'm thinking enamel like on a frying pan. Is that what it's called? And I just think of like it being like no stick, so like the love doesn't stick. It just kind of fall, like it just bounces off or slides off. So, and that double barrel of struggle dressed in a thug's apparel. The imagery of that is incredible, because your brain goes exactly where Chester wants it to go. At least mine does.
Paddle, it's love's enamel, drug mules and bloody saddles. What? I'm staying heavy for the sake of it. Life's a gamble, the stakes are what I make of it. A transformation, rise up and take a bit. The sleeping dragon, be careful don't awaken it. I'm still alive, my shadow in the sun's proof. So I begin to try to demystify the untruth. Blistering on desert sands, a single grain. Naming every stone turned over by the devil's hands. Rebel clans, searching for an inch of fame. Flashing lights, systems of a scripture's claims. Grip the bottle tight to swing against the authorship. A maiden voyage through the ocean full of richer waves. Temptation's horns dismantled by the mist.
Okay, now I feel like he's now turned his attention on those who talk shit about him, especially of late, or over the past year and a half, say, or maybe longer than that. Because he says, like, don't awaken the sleeping dragon, right? He's still alive. And like, I want to hear this again.
Muddy paddle, it's love's enamel, drug mules and bloody saddles. What? I'm staying heavy for the sake of it. Life's a gamble, the stakes are what I make of it. A transformation, rise up and take a bit. The sleeping dragon, be careful don't awaken it. I'm still alive, my shadow in the sun's proof. So I begin to try to mystify the untruth. Blistering on desert sands, a single grain, naming every stone turned over by the devil's hands. Rebel clans, searching for an inch of fame.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking, because he's talking about, like, basically tearing apart the untruths that are out there, turning stones that have been turned over by the devil's hand, I think he said. So it just makes me feel like, because he's like, don't wake the sleeping dragon, because it's like I'm still alive. And I think that's kind of what he's saying. These, like, in their fame chasers, right? The shining light, the fame. So are they talking shit because they think it'll help them get in with the right people? Would it help them talk shit about Chester P? Maybe there are people who, people who dislike Chester, and you have to be, you have to rely on this cat for something, so you talk shit about him too, or you feed into those lies and help spread those lies.
To mystify the untruth, blistering on desert sands, a single grain, naming every stone turned over by the devil's hands. Rebel clans, searching for an inch of fame. Flashing lights, systems of a scripture's claims. Grip the bottle tight to swing against the authorship. A maiden voyage through the ocean full of richer waves. Temptations, thorns, dismantled by the misbehaved. Sticks and stones in glass houses where we scrimp and save. Throwing glances at the answer to the sick, depraved. Laughter that is heard in the darkness of the pictured caves. True ellipsis.
See this idea, like sticks and stones, because that's like with sticks and stones may break my bones. So people shoot, or people saying shit, right? Because the saying is, don't throw stones like when you live in glass houses, right? I might have butchered that, but I think that's what it is. But so he's saying sticks and stones, which makes me brings me to that whole saying sticks and stones. So and the thing is like, and he uses the term we, where we live and skimp and save. So it's kind of like we're all together in this, man. We're all in the same place. We're all in the same struggle. So while you're over here saying shit about me, trying to tear me down, you're in the exact same situation, and you're in a glass house, and just like I am, and people see through that, and people see that you're full of shit, and the people see that you're being inauthentic, and that you're being a dick. At the same time, you're doing all this, but again, you're no better than I am. You're in the exact same spot.
A maiden voyage through the ocean full of richer waves. Temptations, thorns, dismantled by the misbehaved. Sticks and stones in glass houses where we scrimp and save. Throwing glances at the answer to the sick, depraved. Laughter that is heard in the darkness of the pictured caves. True ellipsis, eclectically eclipse my shade. Where I find the true fixtures of the hidden grades. Forbidden glades, searching for a colder climb. Overheating self-defeat in my sober mind. To all degrees, they're sleeping on a bed of stories. They saw a map and felt they understood the territory. A bunch of rhymes self-designed to describe myself. A bunch of lies they designed so they can hide themselves. No parallel.
You see, again, right? That's what he's saying. They see the map, kind of think they know the story, and it's a bunch of rhymes that he used to describe himself. So he told stories, man. He talked about Chester put his life on paper and in our ears, man. And so people listened to him or heard him and maybe read what he wrote, whatever it is, and then they made their own perception of him. They made their own avatar of him. And that's what I always try to tell my kids, man. It doesn't matter what people say about you or feel about you. For one, it's none of your business, and secondly, it has nothing to do with you. It's someone else's own shit, man. And the reason why I say that, I may have told this story one time, but I remember the very first time I was doing meditation training, and I was talking about how one of my friends was always so negative, and he's the most negative person I've ever met, and blah, 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 blah. And the guy stopped me and said, "Is he though? Is he really?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, and then he explained to me that it's my perception of him. And then the more he explained it to me, the more I began to understand. It's like, holy shit, it's so true, man. So if someone thinks you're an asshole, unless you're actually being an asshole, then whatever they think about you, who fucking cares, for one? And two, that's them with their own shit, man. They're putting their own shit on it and dropping the shit on you. It's like them looking into a mirror and they don't like it. So they start piling their own shit on top of you when they really should be maybe looking at themselves and straighten their own shit out. And so that's what he's saying, man. You take some words that I wrote, some rhymes that I wrote, some records I made. You think you know the story? You don't know the story, man. You can't define me. You can't stick me in a box. And not only that, it's just everything that people say about him is lies. Like, that's what he's saying. It's spreading lies, man. And they're hiding behind their lies. Same type of thing what I was saying.
They saw a map and felt they understood the territory. A bunch of rhymes self-designed to describe myself. A bunch of lies they designed so they can hide themselves. No parallel, apparel of the dead and gory. The right to hell is free, wisdom isn't bred for glory. The rose is red, the prose reverse the soldier's dread. I stroll through heaven like the devil wasn't told I'm dead. I stroll through heaven like the devil wasn't told I'm dead. The hidden gold is never carried because the soul is led. Reverse alchemy, none of us are concentrated. See, this marriage wasn't consecrated. Ultimatums in the hourglass, motivating movements of the shifting sands of time on the road sedated. Hand signals, no virtue for the Virgin Mary. Sister Magdalene resisted by the serpent early.
I want to hear that again. We have a nice little wordplay there. The virtue, the singling, and then he comes with the virtue. And then the hands as well. You signal with your hands. Nice man. The wordplay there.
The hidden gold is never carried because the soul is led. Reverse alchemy, none of us are concentrated. See, this marriage wasn't consecrated. Ultimatums in the hourglass, motivating movements of the shifting sands of time on the road sedated. Hand signals, no virtue for the Virgin Mary. Sister Magdalene resisted by the serpent early. In the book of life, erasing all the births of Seth. It's dead canaries in a mine shaft of certain death. I am worth this attention you should pay to hear. Intention over ritual. Habitually I shake the fear free from underneath my skin and speak it to your aching ears. I shake the spears of destination that Satan fears. I was deafened by the vacant cheers. I felt the hatred as the stakes appeared greater than the snakes and peers. Forever young, in the square trying to shape the sphere. Looking back at yesterday, may as I made it here. Man, it's been a couple months without the taste of beer. Defacing all the faces in the shadows just to make it clear. See, I am just a moment as I hustle forth. Stranger than the fiction being spoken by a couple frauds. I was shuttled by the utter force of karma into struggle's jaws. I am simply human here and nothing more. My imperfections are the beauty of my life's capers. Fuck a couple flaws, I am like a skyscraper. I'm whipping angels into shape with some flypaper. I take a moment to dissolve into divine vapors, then revolve around the surface of my mind's craters. Time takes us, aging underneath the heat. The path of healing as I'm winding underneath my feet. Sleepily I find myself patient as the street repeats. The same notions, stillness became motion. Self-distilled by the keepers of the drained ocean. The same notions, stillness became motion. Self-distilled by the keepers of a drained ocean.
Man, I feel that whole ending there is again, he's talking about those cats, man, that have talked shit about him, but the whole, I think he talks about, that's like the whole industry in general there at the very end. I didn't want to stop it because it's some of the most magnificent writing I've ever heard. I just wanted to let that run, man. And I do. I feel like that's what he was getting at. Just, should I hear that back again?
then revolve around the surface of my mind's craters. Time takes.
I don't think I went back far enough, sorry.
My imperfections are the beauty of my life's capers. Fuck a couple floors, I am like a skyscraper. I'm whipping angels into shape with some fly paper. I take a moment to dissolve into divine vapors, then revolve around the surface of my mind's craters. Time takes us, aging underneath the heat. The path of healing as I'm winding underneath my feet. Sleepily I find myself patient as the street repeats. The same notions, stillness became motion. Self-distilled by the keepers of a drained ocean. The same notions, stillness became motion. Self-distilled by the keepers of a drained ocean.
Yeah, man, and right before that part there, as I'm thinking about that's like he got into the industry part, and then this is him talking about his healing journey, man, and the fact that the street keeps repeating, kind of to me gives me this idea that he keeps failing, but he's staying true to himself, right? Like he's doing his best. Every day is a struggle. Every day feels the same. But he's staying true to that, man. He's sticking to his guns. He's doing his shit. He's putting in the work. He's staying steadfast, man. No matter how many times that road repeats.
Yeah, I just wanted to say hello to all the kind people out there, you know, to the people who've like stood by me and understood I'm going through a hard time. I am grateful for you and I appreciate you. And to the friends who have love for me and who know I have love for them, I'm sorry I had to shut my door on everybody. The shutters came down because I've been in a bad place and I don't want people to see me like that no more. But I'm getting well, I'm healing myself, I'm doing all the work necessary. Don't listen to rumors, man. I'm teetotal, I'm keeping myself teetotal and I'm growing and my growth is imperative. I've been given the opportunity to test my strength of character and my integrity. I've been hated on and not given a reason why. And I'm sure there is a reason why, but I'm not sure I care anymore. Your hatred out here has nothing to do with what I am in here, because none of you know me. It's a projection. I'm grateful for that too, because it taught me something really interesting. For most of my life, I've been shown fake love. And it wasn't until I got shown real hate by those people who'd been fake loving me that I got to understand who I really am. And I'm proud of that person that I really am. I'm not sure if I'll be putting out music, but I wanted you to have this. Peace to you all, yeah?
I mean, all you have to do, man, is you listen to the last part there, and it shows you who Chester P really is, man. He's taking this thing in stride, and he's taking it as an opportunity to learn and be better himself. And that is impressive as hell. And that's all you can say. It's impressive that he's taken a very difficult time in his life and he's using it. He's using that pressure to make diamonds, man. So nothing but love to Chester, man. One of the best to ever do it on any, doesn't matter, anywhere on the globe at any time. This dude, one of the best to ever do it, ever. And like you said, he may not be putting out much music, but make sure you go over, give this a few listens, man, on his YouTube page. It deserves it. I know I'm gonna have to hear it a bunch of more times before I even begin to scrape the surface of what the true meaning of his words are. But I appreciate you being here, man. I know it's a long video. 30 minutes is a long time to sit with me, listen to me trying to unpack shit, but I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man. I love you guys for being here and allowing me to do this every day. You make me a better cat. So until next time, I love each and every one of y'all. Stay safe. Be good to each other.